Hi, I'm Larimar. In this video, I want to talk about astrology for self-realization. So, for those of you who are already kind of familiar with astrology, you would probably have come across a lot of contents that are fatalistic astrology. Like, if you have certain position, something is going to happen or something must have happened, those kind of positions and interpretation. And I agree with them because certain things are predestined for sure, but I am not a big fan of fatalistic forecast. And from a higher perspective, from quantum physics point of view, everything is malleable, everything is changeable. From a higher perspective, nothing is set in stone. You know, the entire universe is made of energy, and when you zoom in anything, your finger or any object, zoom in so far, you're gonna notice that 99% of the space is empty. Basically, this entire universe is kind of hollow because of certain programmings in our brain. We perceive things as certain color, certain texture, or certain properties. So, yeah, I want to talk about astrology for self realization. The other day, I actually wrote an article about it, which I haven't published yet, but I'm gonna refer to it, and this is gonna be available in my blog, larimarcreative.com. So, if you're interested in, take a look at it. For those of you who are brand new to astrology, by the way, there are 12 houses that describe one's life in 12 different sectors. So, and these houses are hypothetical space created in the birth chart. And the first house represents all about you, your personality, persona, physical traits, appearance, and life path. Basically, the first house is all about you, the overall picture of who you are. And I noticed that the fifth house is actually related to self realization. This is the seat of your soul and how you can best express yourself and who you truly are. The fifth house rules your soul identity. The traditional meanings of the fifth house include romance, love, hobbies, and whatever that you love in your life, and how you find pleasure in life, so to speak. But really, there is so much deeper than that, and I'm so excited to share about it. So, the fifth house is also related to the fifth sign, which is Leo, and its ruler, Sun. So, in order to realize yourself, in order to find who you truly are, you need to nail down what really Sun is all about. Actually, you know what? I wrote a blog and I'm gonna kind of read it out for you. So, what is Sun? Sun is a star, a luminous spherical object floating in a galaxy. Its presence is so powerful that it gravitates to other gigantic balls of gaseous dust or liquid, aka planets. Sitting at the center, Sun creates its own system where all these planets orbit around it from a varying distance and at the varying paces, respectively. And there are some core qualities of Sun, and as you understand these qualities and apply them onto your personal life, you can find it easier to express who you are. So I came up with 4 qualities. The first one is light. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's a luminous, self-illuminating object. So Sun is burning itself all the time, 24/7. And basically you need to find what ignites your soul, what makes you passionate, what keeps you alive and vibrant and keep moving forward. So that is the core energy of fire elements in metaphysics. And of course, everything can be expressed in positive way or negative ways. And when it's expressed in positive ways, you can feel that you're inspired, passionate, and ecstatic, and very like motivated, self-motivated and proactive and inspired to do something. That is the positive expression of fire elements. But when it's expressed in negative ways, you may find yourself having anger and feeling resentment, frustration. Also, you may be prone to having some sort of accidents because of reckless energies, acting upon impulse out of anxiety, not out of passion. So these are the negative expression of fire elements. And just think of fire. Fire can swallow the entire mountain, but at the same time, when you use it wisely, you can cook, you can make food, and this can be very beneficial for you. So you need to find what ignites your soul, what lights you up, what lifts you up, and what makes you happy. So that is the first quality of sun. And the second quality is gravity. So let me briefly explain how a star is formed. So star, of course, is not a star from the beginning. It starts from a cloud of hydrogen gas. And gravity keeps pulling more dust and gases into a vortex. As it keeps gravitating matters, things are squeezed into a tiny smaller space, creating high pressure and high temperature. And at a certain point, when it passes a threshold, it explodes. It creates a burst of light, which is a birth of a star. If you ask a question, what if there was not enough gravity? Well, of course, there was no sun. A lot of scientists are trying to figure out what created mass exactly. If you are more like a science person and want to understand it from scientific perspective, I would recommend you to explore the topic of Higgs boson particle. Otherwise, I would like to touch on it from metaphysical perspective. So in astrology, mass, weight is ruled by earth element, and Taurus is the very first earth sign. It rules a primordial earth energy. What is Taurus? Taurus is all about what you value, what you ponder upon, what you are invested in mentally and emotionally. Well, not necessarily emotionally, I guess, but whatever that you focus, what you consider value. So when it comes to realizing your true potentials and achieving self-actualization, you need to take actions upon what you truly value, because action is the language of the physical world. You need to do something instead of just daydreaming about it, because of course you can meditate on it and that certainly can help you move forward, but there's a limit though. It can help you prepare for taking a step, but it's actually the action that matters. So you need to take action upon what you value, and it is okay if your value system keeps changing as you continue on your journey in your life, because which is very common, because the more you raise your consciousness, you start seeing different perspectives, and because of that, you can choose to make different choices. But as long as it is aligned with your internal guidance system, in other words, as long as it feels right for you to do something, then it's going to work out for you. So gravity of the sun is corresponding to what you value. You need to keep grabbing what you think is valuable for you. So that is the second point of realizing yourself. And the third point, centeredness. Of course, sun is the center of the entire solar system. And in astrology, fifth house, Leo, and sun rules center stage. Your ability to take center stage and ability to perform. Oftentimes it rules artistic expression, but not necessarily. Politics is also ruled by the fifth house because politicians obviously need to grab attentions of the crowd. So I think I kind of digressed. So be willing to take the center stage of your life. Like sun, you are the center of your life. Like a star, you are the protagonist of your life. And even if you consider yourself shy, reserved, and understated, still you are the main character of your life. So you need to be willing to step into your own power, step into your own position. And the more you become more aware of your role and how things are revolving around you, and this can also be part of appreciating your own specialness. But this does not necessarily depreciating the specialness of others. So acknowledging everyone is special, and if you question how is it possible that everyone is special, well, look at the sky. If you are in the part of area where air is pretty clean, you can see millions of stars, or you can Google the image of the galaxy. There are tons of stars brightly illuminating all the time. You may or may not see because of certain conditions in the atmosphere, but nevertheless they're still there, brightly shining. So like the star, you are a shining soul. And what's really interesting is that the name of sun, the name of our star is soul, S-O-L. And your spirit is also called soul. What a synchronicity. So in order to express who you are and realize yourself, you need to be responsible for everything that happens in your world or in your life. This entire world is a reflection of what is going on within yourself, including your subconsciousness. So that is why increasing self-awareness is so important, because most people are not aware of what's happening deep inside of them because they are so busy to catch up what is going on a daily basis. But what really matters is your core. So you need to own your life, no matter how old you are, and what positions you have in society. It doesn't matter. As long as something happens in your life, even if it doesn't seem like that it is directly related to you, it's still part of your world. And if you're inspired to do something about it, you need to do it, because you are eventually the master of your life. So stay centered. You need to feel grounded and feel really comfortable being in your own skin, especially if you are like more spiritually inclined and or artistic and daydreaming about the reality or ideals. You may feel off grounded. You need to bring your focus onto your body, your physical body. And this just reminds me of a famous quote from Zen Buddhist, which is chop wood and carry water. Let me share a quick story about it. So a disciple asked the question to a monk, what do I need to do to experience spiritual enlightenment. And he said, chop wood and carry water. And the disciple asked again, what do the awakened people do after the spiritual awakening? And the monk said, chop wood and carry water. So there are many interpretations about this story, but basically my take is you need to stay grounded, and no matter if your perspective has changed or not, on the physical level, things are moving as always in a cyclical way. The sun comes up in the morning and sets in the evening, so you need to feel grounded and centered. You need to feel grounded and centered. And the last point is the fixity, the stability. The sun is one of the most predictable planets. Well, it's actually a star, but in astrology, it's called planets. As I just said, sun every day rises and sets in the same time, well, slightly different time. But anyway, what we can learn from this quality of sun is staying still. You need to hold your space and shine bright in your field. And when you practice it, you don't get swayed by others. And of course, some people are better at it, just like some people are athletically more gifted or artistically gifted than other people. Those people who have Aries sun or Leo sun or sun in fire signs like Sagittarius, these people tend to have a higher level of confidence and a higher level of self-awareness by nature, but this can be developed just as any other skills. So you need to stay still and dive deep into who you are and just do your own thing in your own space. So I hope this is helpful, and if you want to learn more about how you can personally express yourself the best way and realize yourself, you can take a look at your 5th house in your birth chart. And here's the chart. If you have any planets in the 5th house, you can follow the nature of those planetary energy. So I can speak more about it in the upcoming videos, and hopefully this is helpful for you, and have a great day. Thank you. Bye.